Hi, my name is Neil Kelleher. In this video I'll just go over some quick tips on how to activate the vastus medialis muscle, that's this muscle right here, without having to resort to specific movements. The idea is that you can learn to contract the vastus medialis as well as a lateralis and even the hamstrings consciously, so that you can use that muscle in a variety of different movements, particularly when you're working on knee stability or when knee stability is a problem. So first of all, the vastus medialis is this tear drop shaped muscle at the front of the inner thigh. It's part of the quadriceps group. Quadriceps group also includes the vastus lateralis, this muscle here, and also underneath, you can't really see, it's the vastus intermedius, I think it is. And then the fourth muscle is the rectus femoris, this muscle here, which attaches to the from the knee to the front of the hip crest. All four of these muscles together are called the quadriceps. The vastus muscles only act on the knee joint, attaching mainly to the patella and pulling up on the knee. And here you can see I'm contracting it deliberately. The rectus femoris is, of the three, is the only one that also crosses the front of the hip joint. Basically, the way that I believe you can deliberately contract the vastus is just by first of all, learn how to deliberately contract the quadriceps. And if you're not sure how to feel the quadriceps contracting, if you go into a squat, you'll probably feel the muscles at the front of your thigh contracting. So memorize that feeling. Stand up, let the quadriceps relax, and then see if you can create that feeling while standing. You can have the knee slightly bent, contract the quadriceps, so duplicate the feeling of contraction at the front of the thighs, relax, contract, and then relax. You may have to practice that a few times. Another way to activate the quadriceps, if you're sitting, if you try to straighten the knee, you'll notice that the muscles at the front of the knee will contract. Another way to contract them is if you're sitting upright with the knee straight, you can try and press the backs of the knees down so that the quadriceps contracts. In all of these exercises, focus, put your awareness in the muscle mass at the front of the thigh. As you do the action that activates the muscle, see if you can feel the contraction. Once you have the general contraction, since the vastus medialis is to the inside of the quadricep, what you can try and do is contract the quadricep as a whole. This may not involve the rectus femoris, but see if you can focus the contraction, see if you can focus more on the medial thigh, on the vastus medialis. This will still be contracted, but you can maximize the possibility that this muscle is contracting by concentrating the contractive effort on the inside of the thigh. Conversely, if you wanted to activate more the outside of the thigh, focus your attention here, trying to squeeze. The inside will still squeeze, but you can make sure the outside is squeezing as well. And you may notice some tension along the outside of the knee, which to me indicates that the vastus medialis lateralis doesn't just attach to the kneecap, it also attaches to the, or has an effect on the IT band, the iliotibial tract. Now once you've got the contraction for both knees, you can try the contraction in a squat. Generally when I'm doing a squat, I like to move the knees and the hips back. But in this position, you can deliberately contract the quadriceps. See if you can, you may find that the lateral vastus lateralis is contracting. See if you can move the contraction to the vastus medialis just a little bit. And then if you go down all the way to the bottom, this is a position where vastus medialis is supposed to be, this is a position that's supposed to be most effective for activating vastus medialis. So here you can try to maybe lift up a little bit, try and contract the inner head of the quadriceps and see if you can keep that contraction as long as possible, perhaps to this position. And then as you stand up, you may find it's more the outer thighs that activate. In particular, what you may find, rather than consciously activating vastus medialis all of the time, you might want to play with it in different positions, see what happens if you consciously contract medialis or contract it a little bit more. See what happens if you contract the lateral vastus muscle a little bit more. So play with it and try and find a position that overall feels better for your knees, and it gives you a little bit more power. One final note, the quadriceps work on the front of the knee. For knee balance, you'll also want to, I would suggest, focus on the hamstrings. And just like with deliberately activating the quadriceps, if you can feel the quadriceps, chances are you should be able to feel, if you keep the knee still and activate your quadriceps, what may happen is that your hamstrings automatically activate because it's basically a static contraction or an isometric contraction. So both muscles activate. The hamstrings balances the contraction of the knee so that the joint doesn't move. But at any rate, for balanced hamstring activation, if you squeeze the quadriceps, you may find the hamstrings activate. I'd suggest focusing on the two tendons at the back, or the tendons here and here. See if you can make both tendons feel equally strong so that you know you're activating the hamstrings. So again, going into a squat, you could squeeze the front of the thighs, activate the quadriceps, and you could squeeze the hamstrings. See if you can make inner and outer hamstrings on both legs equally active so that you've got a relatively well-supported knee. You could try it. It might be a little bit more difficult in a lower squat. Here you might have to activate more the calf muscle to support the knee. Another action you can try that in is in a forward bend. So as well as the glute activating, if you wanted to focus primarily on the knee, activate the quadriceps, activate the hamstrings as well. See how that feels in whatever actions that you're doing. Maybe a straight leg deadlift, making the knees strong. Just experiment with it and see how that goes. So just a few quick tips. If you have any questions, please use the comment form, or just comment on the video, or you can use the comment form on my website. Thank you very much.